As one of the hosts of this event, on behalf of the organizers, I would like to greet you with love and respect. The next agenda item of the opening ceremony is one that is almost traditional. We will listen to the opening address of the ECHA President, Lianne Hoogeveen. First of all, we are highly pleased to say that, as many of you must have seen on Facebook, that Lianne has become Professor by special appointment of the Identification, Support and Counseling of Talent of the Radboud University from the 1st of March. Congratulations to Lianne. Also, besides this, she is the Program Director of the Radboud International Training of High Ability. As we know, the ECHA program, a post-academic training program delivered at the Radboud University and qualified by the European Council for High Ability. She coordinates the Master Program of Gifted Education at Radboud University, and as a mental health psychologist, she examines and counsels adolescents and adults with high abilities at the CBO Talent Center in Nijmegen. Lianne is involved in research on giftedness and education, cooperating with colleagues of the Netherlands and international universities. She is a guest lecturer in several European and non-European universities, and since September 2020, she is the president of ECHA. Welcome, Lianne Hoogeveen.
Hello, dear friends. Although I cannot look you straight in the eye, I would still like to take the floor for a moment, although it's the floor of my own house. We are limited in our possibilities, and now that I wrote that down, it reminded me of a TED Talk I once saw. You might have seen it too. It's the TED Talk of Phil Hansen, the unfortunate artist whose hand started shaking, which destroyed his dream to be an artist, until he learned to embrace the shake. It was 2013. We wouldn't imagine that COVID-19 would change our world. Well, some people could, but foolish enough, we didn't listen to them. But back to Phil Hansen. He talked about the value of limitations, and his message was that we need to first be limited in order to become limitless. Again, we feel limited now. Limited in our freedom of movement, limited in our education, limited in social contacts. But quoting Phil Hansen again, if we treat the problems as possibilities, life will start to dance with us in the most amazing ways. And this is what the organizers of this conference did. Of course, they and we had preferred a conference where we could meet each other, shake hands, hug each other. But instead, to get depressed about the fact that this wouldn't be possible, Sheila, Sylvia, and their team decided to see the limitations as possibilities and started their amazing dance, resulting in this wonderful online conference. I'm sure they learned a lot doing this, things they wouldn't have known without this pandemic. And I'm sure we all learned a lot in how to teach online, find out ways to make the online teaching attractive, and supporting each other in this difficult time. In September last year, I started as president of ECHA during our also online General Assembly. Since then, the General Committee met 3 times, also online, and we are very busy to find ways to make ECHA stronger and even more significant in and outside Europe. We are an organization with very dedicated professional people, and we need to make ourselves heard in order to support changes in education and care for those with high ability, and especially those whose abilities are not recognized. To make ourselves heard in Europe, we applied to the Council of Europe to acquire participatory status, which will give us a voice in the Council of Europe. We didn't get a response yet, but we'll keep you updated. Talking about voices, important voices will be heard during this thematic conference titled Closing the Achievement Gap. This achievement gap is an issue closely related to the concept of equity, fairness in education, equal access to learning opportunities, and greater equality in educational achievement, attainment, and benefits, which are key goals of a caring talent support system. Invited speakers like Marta Fulop and Peter Nagy, both of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences, Frank Worrell from Berkeley, Paula Olszewski-Kobilius from Northwestern University, and Jonathan Plucker from Johns Hopkins University will be speaking about this topic. And many more interesting speakers from, if I'm not mistaken, all continents will enlighten us with their research findings and experiences of talent development of those for whom it is not that obvious that they'll have the possibilities to develop their potentials. It is so important to hear these voices, these different voices, from people with different cultural, ethnic, and religious backgrounds. Too many times, these differences cause problems, and of course, it can be challenging, but it can also be so enriching to listen to people with a different view on the world, and therefore another vision on education of high ability students. It is easy to close our minds for ideas we think are wrong, but education and care of people with high abilities will profit so much more if we listen to each other, discuss and use differences in opinions to sharpen and deepen our own ideas. So listen to all those different voices, be open and critical, and you will learn and grow. Almost 700 people from 49 countries of Europe, North and South America, Asia, Australia, and Africa are participating in this conference. Although you will be participating through your screen, please be an active participant. Let us know your opinion, your experiences, and because we hope to hear all voices. This conference will be another opportunity to meet people, get knowledge, and be inspired to continue with the important things you are doing for the education and care of people with high abilities. Let yourself hear, learn, and enjoy. And don't forget, keep dancing.